Cigarettes
Yeah.
are killing your husband with rat poison because he beat you one too many times. And the cops will never find him because they know what's good for him.
Hello and welcome to Standup Saturday on MKUsual. It's like MK Ultra but more normal.
Woo! Woo!
Where are you from, sir?
Kansas.
Oh yeah, you look like you're from Kansas, but you be shucking some hay bales.
I've literally done that.
You married?
No.
Yeah, you look like a big gaylord hay bale shucking son of a bitch.
Gays get married if they want.
Shut up! This is my show. Anyway, that's my time.
It is Stand-Up Saturday.
We're going to review our sets. We're going to review 2 sets that we did at the open mic.
It's like our little mini Kill Tony or Tickle Nick.
Yeah.
Good week. Good week for the comedy.
Yeah, these are good sets.
This is the wrong video.
Is it?
You know how I know? Because Phil was hosting.
You're right.
We might have an issue. You might not get to watch us.
I know.
Oh my God, Nick, fill the time. Fill the time. I did crowd work for you. Oh, we got it.
How was your Thanksgiving?
That's enough out of you. Oh, my Thanksgiving's great. Dude, I am still...
We haven't even talked about it.
I know, we didn't even talk about it yesterday. I am still gorging on leftovers. My mom always sends me home with the most leftovers. She does stuff like nobody else.
You have stuffing?
You would never believe it. No.
Do you have a ham?
No.
You guys a ham family?
No. No ham, no stuffing.
Turkey, I assume?
No. No turkey.
Deviled eggs?
No. I don't even know what that is.
Do you guys have green bean casserole?
No. Who makes a casserole out of green beans?
That's my favorite.
Okay.
Pumpkin pie, like the settlers gave to the Indians?
No. No. Just larvae.
Like larvae casserole?
No, just every June, my mom starts prepping for Thanksgiving. She invites 6 workers into her lair, and then she broods for about 5 months. And in early November, she starts expelling her latest brood of larvae, millions and millions of larvae, siblings, if you will. Mm-hmm. Things are a little crowded when you get to Thanksgiving, and we gorge ourselves on the younglings, just like every year.
Your siblings? Technically, I guess
They haven't bonded to her yet,
okay.
and we do let some live to continue to work.
Okay, that makes
But
sense.
she's very tired after the hatching process. And like 6 or 7 of her sisters try to murder her every year during this time. So she's exhausted. We mostly have to defend her from her sisters and their huge pincer claws. One of them sprays acid out of her mouth. It's wild. We mostly have to defend her.
It seems like a unique adaptation.
Yeah, so we will feast on their carcasses as well if we defeat them in battle.
You save those for Christmas, or?
Yeah, we save them in the food layer, but then we just gorge on the younglings, and it's wonderful. I can't believe you haven't opened the fridge yet. They're in there, buddy.
Should I leave it closed?
I mean, unless you want some, you can have some.
Oh, okay.
We have to eat them before they rival the queen.
Okay.
If we don't eat these in the next 4 months, it's
I'll have a
over.
couple.
Okay.
Some cinnamon toast younglings.
Cinnamon Toast Younglings, baby. That's how we do it in the Cheney household. I'm on one today.
Sounds delicious.
I need to leave the comedy for on stage. This is like Sunday buffet material. That's tomorrow. Nick, I believe you went first this week.
Yeah, I did.
All right, you ready?
Sure.
Nick's new 3 minutes of open mic comedy. Fresh. 3, 2, 1, go.
Yeah, keep it going for Daniel, everybody. Yeah, keep it going for this next guy. He runs the kitchen here. It's Nick Dominy, everybody.
How we doing, comedy club? Good. All right, make some noise if you got an innie. Anybody got an innie? Yeah. What about outies? Make some noise. No shame. All right, now. Oh. What about belly buttons? Anybody got an innie? I got you all. Does anybody smoke cigarettes? Anybody still smoke? Cigarette? He said that, yeah. I recently quit. I'm vaping now. Well, I feel different. If I buy a pack of Marlboros, like, you see the pictures of the guys from Vietnam, they got the pack of Marlboros on their helmet, they're like, their buddies are screaming for help. It makes, it's like, there's an excitement to it. You buy a pack of Lucky Strikes, it's like, I gotta win this dice game or I'm not making rent. That's how you feel. It feels cool. You hit a watermelon ice vape, it's like being pro-choice, but you've never finished inside a woman. I just feel different. That's all I'm saying. Vaping is just gay air. I feel gay when the air goes inside and it's not on fire. I don't know. I just feel different. There's nothing wrong with vaping or being gay, but it's like a square is a rectangle, you know? No one past geometry? Okay. Yeah, okay. Yeah, square is a rectangle, and vaping doesn't make you gay. You guys seem like a well-read crowd. You guys like to read? Yeah. History? Yeah? Okay. You might know this fact about history. I was reading the other day, and I learned that the Greeks invented anal. They invented anal. I read a little further. I found out the Romans were the first to try with women. The ladies never like that joke. It's like, I don't know. All the Greeks were doing were studying philosophy with all those little boys. Those oiled up little boys were reading books together. I don't know. Anal's not really for me though. It's just for shits and giggles. I lost you at that. Okay. I'm Tom D. I'm gonna get out of here. I love you.
Love you, Nick.
Good set, buddy.
Yeah,
Free content for y'all.
I feel bad. I felt okay, but like I liked that this lady liked me until I said that.
The white lady,
Yeah,
down in the front row, yeah, on the corner, yeah.
As soon as I said that, she like rolled her eyes and like.
That's so weird.
I took it personally. I was like, I hurt her feelings or something. I don't know. I just felt bad.
Oh, but there's always some judgy. Like, I think it was great.
There was two black guys back here. They were cool. When I said, "Does anybody have an Audi?" he said, "How about a longie?" And he like called my joke essentially before.
Now you called your joke, but that was my first note. Was you did the in the Audi thing? You tried it last week.
Yeah,
But it was very much. We had talked about it last week. You had texted me.
it was in the larval stage, if you will.
It was in the larval stage. It had not like brooded. I don't even know science terms. I hope Mother, if I offended you, please do not decapitate me. Or send your horde of workers. I think what you did, where you said, "What about belly buttons?"
Yeah.
And I didn't even think about this till literally this watch through. That's the punchline. You did it.
Yeah.
I think you figured that out really quickly.
Yeah.
How to make a that's one thing I love about you is you write things that could, not everything, but you write things sometimes that could be immortal street jokes. Or like very simple. You know what I'm talking about? Like,
yeah.
And I mean that in the way that like,
I would.
this is the dick sucking portion of the. I mean that in the way that like a lot of Rodney Dangerfield stuff could. You know what I mean?
You would know. You could like hear a joke and not know it was Rodney Dangerfield because you've heard it from.
Not because you heard it, but because it's like universally funny.
Oh, I see. Okay.
It's just like a funny small dick joke
Yeah.
that you attach to something everyone knows and that most people don't think about. I thought it was great. I thought the "What about belly buttons" was, and it hit.
Yeah.
You cannot deny that it hit.
People liked it.
I'm not gonna.
She liked it, which made me happy.
You just this.
I was here to please that woman and that woman only.
I feel like this is becoming a psychology this day in our.
Yeah.
Because like, and I'm not gonna say the whole stand up is my therapy, but like you learn so much about somebody by the way they analyze their own stand up.
Yeah.
Like the guy who thinks he kills all the time and he fucking
Yeah.
doesn't. And like what I'm learning about you is you lost this one woman and it's tearing you apart.
Yeah.
It's bothering you. And then now
Look,
when
it's just freeze framed on her with her crossed arms looking down. She's like, she's the fucking cool third grade teacher you had. You do something that is fucked up and now she's disappointed in you. And then like, I don't know.
for every success you had in that room, this
8
one woman
years,
is
I
going
think
to
about
haunt you. This one woman haunts you.
Everyone else liked most of my stuff. Like I got like a 2/3 or more reaction, I think, from the room.
Now, Greek Roman anal we've heard before.
Yeah.
I thought of a punch for that.
Okay.
I think you should say, and the Persians were the first to apply it to agriculture.
Okay.
Or whatever the word is for fucking a goat. What do they
Okay.
call it?
Yeah.
Sheep herding or...
Yeah.
But don't say sheep herding.
That's good.
Okay, I think you should try that. But the star of this set, I really want to talk about, is your vaping joke.
Okay.
And you know this. I've told you about this before. This is actually, though, the first time I've seen you do it on stage. We write together and stuff.
Yeah. You helped me with that joke.
As you have helped me, but I'd never seen your finished product. And I know this is in no way finished, but I think that's the star of the set. I think that it's great.
It like I'd done it a couple times before, and it was like a grilled cheese. But to that night, it was like a grilled cheese with tomato soup. Mm-hmm. It was a more complete. It was less of like a struggle meal or like a trenches meal. It became like something.
Well, I also think it has a long way to go because the premise is so good. Here's what I love about the premise. One, okay, we're 80s kids.
Yes.
80s and like early 90s kids. We grew up when smoking was ubiquitous.
Pizza
Hut, Chinese buffet, there'd always be a smoking section.
road trips with Grandpa with the windows up.
Yeah.
You'd smoke a whole cigar. And
My dad used to smoke in the car. My grandparents smoked when I was my grandma would smoke in the house,
Yeah.
And it was a much more smoke filled, and we witnessed cigarettes just die off in public life. And then now, these last few years, vaping, bro. Vaping. These kids, everybody's vaping now. It's like the 1930s when everybody was like sucking down cigarettes.
Yeah.
I think that it's such a cultural phenomenon, and I think that the way you turn that cultural experience and phenomenon into a masculine feminine thing, which plays off of another common trope of like, back in my day, we drank from the hose and we rode in the back of the car without seatbelts, and the parents didn't want us home. Men were men, you know what I mean? Like that whole thing.
Yeah.
And the way that you I love a joke. I love a premise that takes an identifiable cultural phenomenon and attaches it to something more universal.
Okay.
A hackier comedian or someone who's not, or somebody who's just kind of going through the motions would just get up and say shit like, my premise is men used to be men and women used to be women and now everything's androgynous and you've somehow made a more universal point by pointing to this example. And I love that about this joke. And gay air is funny. I hear tell that you get pushback on gay air sometimes.
Well, I don't know. Comedians like that, it does make people, it doesn't, I don't know. It's hard to like read the room. I'm glad we do this because then like I get to hear reactions from the crowd that I don't hear individually while I'm on stage.
Mm-hmm. Because you're so focused on that one lady.
Yeah.
With her arms crossed.
No one else exists in the room except for Cheryl.
I just want to tell you that the Vietnam to pro-choice, but you've never come inside a woman is so funny. And I think this premise is so strong that you could literally get rid of everything. I'm not telling you to do this, but if for some reason you had to get rid of any individual punchline or any individual tag, you could start from scratch and tell this story a million different ways. And it's so funny. And I think you need to expand on it. And I think you need to expand on what I was saying about how you're hitting that vibe and that cultural thing about how things used to be more dangerous and more raw, and now it's more technological and fuzzy and in so many different meanings of the word. And I just think that that's got a long way to go. You can do the cigarettes and vaping, you can point to things that are like analogous to that.
Yeah, there's like a weird kind of paradox with it too, because like flicking a cigarette butt is littering, but now people are throwing metal, plastic, and batteries into the landfills.
This could be a George Carlin-esque.
Yeah, that's kind of how when I think about it.
10-minute long.
It's
chunk.
hard to like. Yeah.
This is the type of thing you got to expand on. Now, like the Greek Roman anal, that will probably always be a 1 or 2 liner.
Yeah.
This is the type of shit you should be trying to expand on. And great job getting that far. I think it's great how you told. I love any joke where you're talking about a guy like getting his leg in a fucking landmine in Vietnam or whatever, and then you say the words watermelon ice, and before you finish your sentence, you say watermelon ice, and the audience just laughs because they know because they feel it. Right. They know exactly where you're going, and they're still just so pleased to be taken there.
I did notice that.
That's always a good sign, is when they know where you're going, which means you're doing a good job to some extent. Some jokes rely on pure surprise. But I think the surprise hits when you say watermelon ice, because you've just given them that vision of the trenches or the jungles of Vietnam, and you say watermelon ice, and they're like, ugh. They're thinking beanie, art school, polyamory.
Yeah.
Cigarettes
Yeah.
are killing your husband with rat poison because he beat you one too many times. And the cops will never find him because they know what's good for him. And, yeah, vaping is based polyamory. I'm not going to... It's your joke, but... You can just, that's what I'm saying. You can just go on and on and on.
Yeah, I could do
cigarettes
that. I could do that forever. I could do that for 15 minutes.
Right, which I'm not telling you to do. But that's what I'm saying about how the premise is so strong that you could rewrite the whole thing every week.
Oh, yeah.
And, okay. I'm not telling you to do that. That's what I mean, though. You could replace the Vietnam thing with, like, cigarettes are like
I thought you meant at first, like, just go longer with it. But that meant, now I understand what you're saying.
I think you expand it conceptually. You say... You make your points. I think you can write more punchlines. They don't have to be that same thing over and over. But I do think that you quickly move into and see other things are this way. this is emblematic of other things in our culture. And I think there's room to grow. Any notes on yourself?
I'm sorry, Cheryl. I miss you. Sorry I hurt you.
What? Okay, for real?
I don't know why she didn't like it. Like, it seemed like I touched a personal nerve with her.
Oh my God, bro. You cannot worry about this one.
No, it's just like an interesting, I don't know, whatever.
Well, what was the exact point she turned? I don't remember.
When I said the Romans were the first to try with women, she literally, you can watch the video again.
She liked you up
She
until
just
that
like
point.
rolled her eyes and like put her sleeves up and crossed her like that. She
Yeah, that
held
immediately
posture.
turned her off.
Yeah,
Now that's fascinating.
because obviously men are the villains in the joke. They were like,
Are they villains? Oh, well, because of the pederasty.
yeah, they were just. I don't know. At least it's like
You win.
it implies that like, whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah, that's odd. I don't know, bro.
It seemed like maybe the husband had proposed it one too many times, and it was like a personal. I don't know.
You
He
can't.
liked it though. I don't know.
I
Who cares? Let's move on.
You care.
I don't.
Okay, horror story. So for whatever reason, the last SOS show we did was a live sketch group I'm in. Come see us December 18th at the Comedy Club of Kansas City.
Always funny.
In like in the middle of the show, I was doing a sketch, and I looked out. Actually, it might have been the first sketch. I was like a game show host. I was trying to. It was like the sketch where I had the most lines. I ended up kind of fucking it up, but the audience doesn't always know. I had a lot of jitters, as you do when you're starting a show. I looked out and I saw this woman spitting image of my almost mother-in-law
Okay.
from like 6 years ago, from this 10-year-long relationship. I'm almost 100% sure it's not her, but I cannot be 100% sure. Spit it, dude, that threw me off. So hard. I was like, ugh! This woman looked, I mean, if you put them next to each other, it was frickin', it got in my head.
That's tough.
No,
That's a tough one.
Yeah. Because I know it wasn't her, because the confluence of events, for her to be there with this group of people I've never seen, and to be trapped, they don't live in Kansas City.
Oh, yeah.
And then to be there, and then to be around me, and then you would have had to have known I was involved in this because my name's on the website and stuff.
Yeah.
And to never reached out when you have my phone number. It can't be, but this is my version of you obsessing about this. I literally didn't look at that table the rest of the sketch show. I couldn't, because I couldn't look at her without being like.
Yeah.
I do also want to point out, while we're audience talking, these people in the front row, you can't see them. They're the people who are just like immediately front and center. We're on fucking drugs.
They were unhinged maniacs.
They were unhinged, annoying.
The guy at one point just like pulled his shirt up and was just like, had his waxy skinned belly out. It
Really?
was gross, yeah. I think Amos was on stage. No, who was on stage? Pat. I think it was Pat. And Pat just was like, put your fucking belly away.
That's so weird.
I can't remember who it was. It was Amos or Pat.
Dude.
But they just called him out and be like, you're a fucking weirdo. Stop doing that.
They were bizarre. I was working the bar this night. That they were, from the minute they stepped foot in the door, I was like, trouble.
Yeah.
They were laughing maniacally at everything. They were like laughing maniacally. Nobody knew who they were. They were like way too familiar with people. They came up to me and immediately asked me my name. And everything they would say and everything you would say, they would laugh. They were like, ha 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 ha, what's your name? And I lied. I said, Robert. And they went, Robert, ha 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 ha. And then they kept trying to talk, and somebody else was trying to order, and I was just like, I essentially sold them one drink, and then they had mentioned wanting to hang out there with me, and I was like, I with every ounce of professionalism I could muster, and in the best possible way, I essentially told them to get the fuck away from me and go sit down, because I was gonna fucking lose my shit being around them. She was gone most of my set.
I don't know what
they were
but he
on
was,
something.
yeah, he was
They
like,
were
Yeah, it was weird.
A lot of the times people will come into the club and they might be tipsy, drunk, high. A lot of them are just on one because I think it might be like a personality disorder where they're going to a comedy club so they think they have to be funny.
Yeah.
And they're bigger, larger than life. And those people just inherently annoy me. And liquor fuels it a little bit. But this was on a level I've never seen.
Yeah.
If there's no way this is these people's real personalities. I say this because we're getting ready to play my set. And I start my set by saying my grandmother died. And this guy just sat there and laughed.
Yeah.
And then the comics started laughing at him laughing.
Right.
And then the lady
This lady,
his beloved,
my beloved.
the lady you can see in the frame in the bottom right,
She just like...
she kind of got on my side. She actually mouthed to me. She went, asshole.
Yeah.
And I credit him being a psychopath with her, getting her on my side. Okay.
Let's get into it.
3
Let's watch
minutes.
your set.
Oh, that's our hostage trying to escape, if you could hear that. 3, 2, 1, Dennis, go.
Next guy's been making your drinks all night, and he actually hosts a podcast with Nick called MKUsual. Let's hear it for Dennis Shanae.
What? No, go ahead. Go ahead, the floor is yours. What's
I
up?
thought you were the hairiest guy in the
Thank you.
You're beautiful.
Thank you, buddy. So my grandma just died. We just had her funeral Friday. And at the funeral, this woman walked up to me. She's probably about the age of my parents. She's probably about 60. And she said, Dennis, she said, you don't know me. The last time we saw each other, you were 6 months years old. And I said, oh, cool. And then she said, so how you been? This is why I hate small talk, okay? That's not small talk, that is a TED Talk that she's asking for. Like, what am I supposed to say to that? Like, oh, well, you know, I developed object permanence. I am holding my head up now, then I got really into dinosaurs for a while. Then I got really into pussy for a while, and now I'm mostly into conspiracy theories. You probably would have liked me for about 2/3 of those years. Nice meeting you, Donna. I don't like small talk in general. You ever meet someone who tries to win small talk? You know these people? Yeah. You're like, how you doing? You're like, good. How are you? Good. Sometimes it'll be like a woman. The woman always looks like she's like in real estate. She's always like, how you doing? Good. Yeah. You're like, why are you trying to win this? Why do I feel like you're attacking me? Asking me about the weather. Then there's people, this is probably the worst. The worst small talk is when someone, and usually this happens at like a CVS or like a Price Chopper, they'll initiate small talk with you and then they won't follow through. And these people, they'll be like, this one drives me fucking nuts. This makes me want to stab somebody. They're like, hey, how are you doing today? And you're like, good, how are you? And then they just look at you. They're just like, and then start checking out your groceries. Like, bitch, you got us into this. You got me into it and made me ask how you're doing, and you just completely, you ghosted me in small talk. How do you ghost somebody in small talk? It drives me insane. Maybe I'm not a well-developed person. I don't understand how you do that. I don't understand how cold you gotta be. Now I'm wondering how you are. I just wanted bread, and now I'm wondering how you are. I'm gonna be walking home like, oh, she was not having a good day. But you didn't have to do that. Okay, my name is Dennis Cheney. Check out our podcast, MKUsual. Thank you. 2 plugs of our own podcast on our podcast.
We're gonna get stuck in a time loop.
You go first. I went first with you.
Damn. what was the lady? I guess it doesn't matter. The lady who came up to you, that's just like an objectively funny
I actually
situation.
I told you that when I got home from the funeral.
Yeah.
That woman gave me a true gift on one of the worst days of my life.
I mean,
I'm just objectively having one of the worst days of my life, and gave me real nugget of hope.
I mean, yeah, it's hilarious, and like you know, made it a whole joke. See, I'm not okay. I'll say this real quick about myself. I'm not good at analyzing jokes like you are. I don't feel like I have like. I feel like you have kind of like an academic knowledge in a way. You can like say, you can use words good to talk about comedy. I don't have that.
I'm not tooting my own horn. I'm way too lazy. But that's why I like this segment. It's making me less lazy.
Yeah, I mean, that's a whole
Are you just trying to say joke's good?
good joke. Good, yeah,
Okay.
yeah, joke good.
I am very proud.
I like that you made it 3 minutes, one topic, one joke, one whole thing. I don't do that a lot. I
don't do that a lot either. I mean, it was really 3. I am proud of this week just because it's probably the best writing I've done so far for this segment. Again, I have a personal pledge never to do material on this segment, which I will probably break eventually.
Well, I was trying to do that too, but then like I get nervous and like reflex just if I catch a weird vibe, I just reflex an old joke. And like I had a joke that we talked about internment camps after we did the.
Yeah.
I had we talked about the unit 731 or whatever, and I started thinking about. And I had that. I wrote it down, and then like got up there, and the guy I think was distracting me, and I just lost my. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
you can't base anything off one performance. What I'm proud of on this one is just that I continue to improve in this segment. There are definitely things I'm not proud of. I've had a habit lately as I've been getting back into writing, something I didn't used to do. And I got to question myself on this. I'm starting to insert cheesy things that I don't find funny because I think they are humorous. Last week, it was a couple of the Jake Paul jokes. This week, it's not small part talk, it's a TED Talk. I don't even like that joke. That one I don't like. I love the object permanency through the conspiracy theories.
Yeah, that was great.
I'm keeping that and I'm building on that.
Yeah.
The win small talk, I started after I got through with the funeral stuff, I did start ranting. I had minimal punchlines. I need to punch up the win small talk people. And I did write the ghosted thing. That was the point I was trying to get to in the last part. I did write that. That's why I put it last, is because that was like the last punchline. But I did devolve into rambling, which is fine. I do write that way. And I'll never stop writing that way. I will think of a few punchlines. I'll go up on stage, see what hits, and I'll keep doing that. I stand by that because I think there are some things, there's stuff I set up there like the "you would have liked me" for 2/3 of that time that I thought of on stage. And I like that way better than the TED Talk line, which I consider trash. So I stand by my writing method. However, it's always going to be more prepared. I made what I consider to be an amateur mistake, and it's because I'm just now getting back into writing and performing. And that is, I say this to critique myself. I had that funeral story, which was a real story. I thought it was funny enough. I needed to talk about it on stage. And then I just added the other material to like have a topic. I said I tried to make a transition. I tried to keep forcing the word small talk in there. And I don't like that. I don't like that I did that. And I think the TED Talk, that's not small talk, that's TED Talk. I think that was part of that, but it's an amateurish thing to do to be like...
You've already established the context.
I've already established the context, and I think transitions in general, if you really watch the professionals, transitions are highly overrated.
Right.
transition. And I hear youngsters talking about this all the time, and I will slip back into it too. They'll be like, God, I'm doing my chunk about how I'm a bike rider, and then I gotta get to like how I still live with my mom. They'd be like, other things I just spent 2 minutes talking about riding a bike. Other things that make me a 7-year-old, I still live with my mom. They like try to link, you know what I mean? Now
Yeah.
you watch a real professional.
It's kind of like insulting to the crowd that they can't follow. That they need to be led on that short of a leash.
I
or
could
something.
see that. I could see the
Yeah.
insulting angle.
It's just not necessary.
I think it more than that. I think it's more of an insecurity,
Yeah.
of a public speaking insecurity, because comedy is largely public speaking. And I think it's the human desire, the nervousness while you're public speaking, to want everything to be like when you're writing an essay,
Yeah.
which there's some use to that. But you really watch a professional. I see a ton of them every week at the club. I have noticed for years now, the best among them barely do a transition at all. They will finish telling you that their mom had a psychotic breakdown and shat on their cake at their 8th birthday party, and their next sentence will be, I've been living in Seattle for 8 years, and then they'll move on to Seattle shit.
Yep.
And so that was an amateur's thing, but rewatching that video, I realized I did reflexively, and so that's my critique of myself. Other than that, I'm pretty proud of it.
That was my critique of myself, that like I did something that I didn't want to do, and then I could have taken 1 extra second and did the thing I wanted.
Right.
But I just
A deep breath.
Yeah.
Yeah. I always am a big fan of taking a deep breath. Time feels different on stage for different people.
Yeah.
That's why it's a thing that you have to keep doing over and over. So anyway,
Good set, dude.
good set, dude, as well. I think that's it. I mean, unless you have
Shout
any...
out to Phil for shouting us out. We love
Phil,
you, Phil.
oh yeah, Phil, you're a G, buddy, and he helps with SOS stuff. Phil Andrews, truly, he's the type of person I'm jealous of for their age.
Yeah.
Being in this comedy thing, you meet so many younger people in their like early 20s and stuff, and
He's doing it. He's hungry for the mic. He's young, so he's got his whole life ahead of him to do
it's
it.
really his raw talent too.
Yeah. He's a well-read dude. He's a smart kid.
He is somebody who, if he doesn't stop this, and
He will have a career.
yes, I can't believe I'm saying that.
He'll
about
be a
someone.
writer. He'll do something.
He will if he does not stop.
Yep.
Yes. So anyway,
I'm about to pee my pants. Let's get out of here.
peace out.
Bye.